versus Tundra, Game 3, and we're already going to start off with a bit of action. Both the teams poking at each other as Gaimin Gladiators had put their faith in one hero, Tundra another. For Tundra, it's the King, and for Gaimin Gladiators, the Queen. Sand King versus Queen of Pain mid. With the side lanes, just action all over the place. Both these teams fighting for bounties, fighting for position on the lanes already.
Another explosive mid matchup, and not one I think Thompson's going to get cheesed out of as much in that first game. We saw him come back from that. So this is a terrifying hero to give away to Tundra on this player right now. He's absolutely feeling it, looking to repeat that Game 1 performance. And of course, the Queen of Pain, an historic hero for the NA server, as I'm sure he has killed many in MMR. Can't even say that. On the flip side, this Slark making an appearance here in the clutch in a Game 3 where you need to go to the grand finals. You go to Slark. Such a bold pick. A hero that in theory absolutely owns this game, but you have to be able to get there. And there's a lot of theory because there's a reason we don't see this hero often, right? A very volatile hero. He can crush a team fight. He can do nothing. It's all about building up
First
the stats.
Blood's available. Self-disruption with Pure coming back in. Now Pure tries to get some stacks, but the damage coming out from Tofu and Ace is too much for him to handle. But I guess he does buy Whitemon way back out there. The first kill of Game 3 still on the table.
Running low on regen already, though. Sometimes Slark can suffer in these early spell trades because unless you can just run a hero down and build the stacks up, he doesn't trade that well. You're kind of looking for that sort of exchange. Hero will continue to muscle his way through this laning phase. He wants as good a start as he can, so you get that first item as fast as possible. You can join the fights and start building your own momentum instead of relying on the team. Quinn, feeling the Sand King laning phase is not that fun of a matchup for him right now.
Yeah, if he's got the mana, he's got to level up in every single one of his abilities. Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, and then a Stinger. That really adds up.
I do like the Queen pick, though. This is a hero we saw Liquid go to yesterday that can really bring you that later team fight scale. Dyrachyo barely dodging a
missing
shard.
out of the shards, but maybe he can still get the kill, though. He self-denies. He says, you're not getting the first blood. I'll take myself out. And it's Tofu. He gets it instead. So because Dyrachyo makes that move, his ally gets the heap of gold.
We've seen Dyrachyo do this a lot on this hero. He times it pretty well. He can play for it a lot of times. Makes the move there and gets Gaimin a big win in this early game. First blood once again going their way. Quinn starting to climb back on that CS board in the lanes. Looking solid for Gaimin so far. They also went back for this Enchantress, taking it away from Tundra, realizing the strength of this hero in that early game, particularly with what Whitemon was able to do on it. They're going to look to match that early game presence, and it's a hero Celery is super comfortable with here. So I expect if they have a strong lane on this bottom with the Alk Ench, that the Ench can potentially look for the gate rotations, especially if you can put some early pressure into the Slark. Not a hero that generally responds well to being outnumbered in the early fights.
Drinking Buddies to add the damage, going for the kill on Celery. Dyrachyo is racking up an unstable concoction, ready to throw it because Celery will survive. And now they're just trying to max out the damage they can push back onto Tundra. Boy, both these teams just getting full aggro here. Whether it was through the bounty runes and the little harassments there we've had there, also fighting for every single CS. Neither team wants to give any free ground in this laning phase, which feels all important. Another unstable concoction, another go. This time heading to Ramses. Ramses doesn't have the scorched earth, the extra movement speed required. Shard separates him, but the burnout of the acid is more than enough. With the help of the Pine Cone, they're going to be able to get that kill and trade out support for core to the favor of Gaimin Gladiators.
Gaimin will take that every time, especially getting the extra experience on Celery here.
Is he going to get this as well? The Siege Shot is going to impale the back to him. Oh, Saksa, he has to pop the Fairy Fire. He's cornered, he's caught in a trap, and Celery gets 2.
Not expecting that one. This Enchantress is already level 4 almost. Having a very strong laning phase here, and I mean, giving Tundra a taste of their own medicine.
What a hero.
Cone looks on.
I mean, if anyone was going to be able to match the impact that Whitemon's Enchantress had in Game 1, it certainly is going to be Celery, who's going to give him his run for his money. Top lane, Disruption goes out. Ace, the target here, the tanky hero. With the help of Whitemon, they might just get him, but there is a lot of damage coming out from this Bat Rider. Meanwhile, did a good amount to Saksa here, but now he's on the run.
Doesn't want the courier, wants to try and live.
A flame of trails, but the Shadow Poison keeps on tagging him. A 5th one. would probably do the damage, tries to pull him in, hits that fifth one, Whitemont gets the double.
Pure even using the courier just to scout up the hill a little bit, give his team a little boost. Flip side though, Ramsey's going down again. Celery snags another big kill in this laning phase. This Enchantress already proving her worth. 3-1 start for him, securing a free farm lane for Dyrachyo at this point. It feels like Tundra just given up on this Alch lane, trying to win their safe lane equally as hard or secure comparable farm for Pure here.
Who would you rather shut down when it comes to the offlaners? Would you rather have the Underlord have a bad game or the Doom?
Probably the Doom here, just because the utility out from Doom versus the Alch is pretty severe. Like, there's no real way you can play around in this game as Gaimin, and it's a hero that just recovers a bit better.
The Underlord more reliant on winning the laning phase, and his laning phase is rough right now. A Sonic Wave comes out for Quinn. He doesn't save Ace, but it can maybe get some kills. Epicenter being threatened, pushing Quinn away while the Slark tries to get out, but Tofu puts him down still though. Thompson, he finds Quinn. He gets that kill. Tofu still chasing after Soxa. Will manage to get that one. So Tofu, the support is the one to clean up, but it's the cores who suffer for Gaimin Gladiators.
Gaimin, their cores miss a lot of experience in that fight, and the damage from the Queen of Pain just not enough there. It was a very clutch shard from Soxa going down, but he locks Quinn into the range of that epicenter going off from Thompson. Secured that kill at the end. Still have an Alch free farming on this bottom lane, but it does cost Gaimin's cores some speed and tempo in this game, and boost Thompson back up the Sand King straight to the top here in terms of levels, CS, and almost net worth. He's comparing himself to the Alchemist right now. That is a good sign.
I do feel like Sand King has got to be the scariest hero at this tournament. What so many players have managed to do with this hero, whether through a good laning phase or not, just because the recovery found in the jungle seems to be so efficient for this hero. 6-5 now, 7-minute Wisdom Rune spawn. No early contests here from either Gaimin Gladiators or Tundra. They're too focused on keeping their presence in the lanes for now, especially Gaimin Gladiators, who still have 3 at this top.
Pure made the rotation mid, got a D-ward. Now we'll run back top to try and defend this tower as Gaimin looking for the dive.
Whitemont's in trouble, but he does have some support coming in. Pure is going to show up here. Can he do anything at all? I mean, these level 3 heroes, it's just too much for him. Especially, yeah, as you said, level 5, without an escape mechanism in his ultimate, he really cannot step up to any of these heroes. And Thompson's too busy farming neutrals to help.
Look about going back in. Epicenter in 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, Ramsey's now here. They want to try and use this Doom nice and early. Ace, he'll be left behind. They didn't even have to use Doom for that one. Sonic Wave goes out, but the snowball past him. He whiffs a big one there, and Tundra blood in the water now. The little Slark is gonna pick up a kill in Celery and get 1 stack for himself.
4 permanent Agi for Pure already. Not the worst start for a level 5 Slark. Building for the levels. He'll get a courier as well. What is Dyrachyo's courier even doing there? I don't know.
Well, he went through the gate and tried to get himself his items there, but he instead finds that because of the missed Sonic Wave, that fight, it was already done for Gaimin Gladiator.
That really hurt Gaimin there. You want every one of these early game Sonic Waves to at least land 1 core kill or win a team fight there. It just gets nothing in the snowball dodge. And now Tundra gets to pressure the map a bit more with that cooldown. Thompson continuing to hunt here. Half HP, doesn't care, wants the Alch.
Yeah, Thompson's just not leaving him alone. The disruption set up into the epicenter. Burrow Strike, it's close. A snowball needs a little bit more. Nah, the AoE damage to the epicenter is enough. Thompson don't get burned out. Gets a little screen there from Quinn to finish him off. Soxa, a wise TP out, allows him to be able to bail. They got their kill on the Alchemist, but the Gaimin Gladiators did get a lot in return for him. Shutting down this Sand King's momentum has got to feel good.
And Quinn getting the kill pickup. Boosts his Queen of Pain back up the charts. He needed a big influx of gold like that. Gaimin supports are doing a lot of work in the early game. They're currently out leveling Tundra. Level 6 is online for the Bat and the Edge compared to the level 5s here. But I will say these snowball saves, the whole series, man. Sox just putting on an absolute clinic. Just dodges so much every fight. This is going to be a spell that Gaimin have to play around a bit better than in that game 1.
They have a lot of heroes that, if they survive a few more seconds, they can output a ton more damage, right? Epicenter, Sandstorm, the Slark is a big part of that as well.
And this is going to be the MO in the fights. Like, Gaimin have to play through a lot of saves and a lot of disruption on the side of Tundra. You have Slark with Depth Shroud, Disruption, and Snowball save that can all go on this Thompson Sand King on the front line. And while you're waiting for him to come out of all those saves, he's dealing the damage to you. He's wearing you down. Finding the backline in this game would be delicious for Gaimin.
The backdoor hits on these towers do not seem to stop. Whether it's the Enchantress or with some of these other games with like Lycans in the game and stuff, it's just constant. You may have had the waves pushed in, but all of a sudden these random neutrals or wolves or what have you come out of the woodwork and start chipping away at your towers. And that's what's happening to Tundra here. Celery, he's trying to do what he can on this Enchantress to take objectives. He's now prancing his way up to the top lane where Pure is going to get some good D-warding going on. That'll help him.
Yeah, he's been active, helping out with the wards. So we'll be a smoke bottom with the Queen of Pain here. Sonic Wave back up, looking for the Dagon build-up. Just more burst damage, but you're far away for now. Arcane Rune, however, is what makes this gank extra juicy if you can land it. Tundra playing safe down here, but both supports are here, so they might feel confident pushing forward. Still no Quinn lurking in the trees.
He almost walking in melee range there of Tofu.
And look at Celery mid. He's just pushing this tier 1, trying to get somebody to show on the map, get some sort of pressure in response if this gank fails bottom. He's getting some serious tower damage. No one's responding to this. Tundra taking a defensive stance right now. They want the Mage Slayer on Pure. That's going to be his first item on this Slurk. Allow him to go in the fight, be tanky.
And finally, he does get his response. But is he going to regret pushing this one? It looks like his heal is just too much. The damage overtime from Tundra cannot seem to contest the heal overtime that the Enchantress brings. Zoxa needs to get a snowball on out of here. And he does have one. That'll get him to the edge of the pit. And they'll walk away.
Everybody walks it off. Blink reveal for tops and Epicenter on cooldown. Did put the Sonic Wave on cooldown, but that's an Arcane Rune.
He still jumps the Queen of Pain, though there wasn't any immediate follow-up. They immediately smoke after that. It seems like they poke into getting a reaction out of Gaimin Gladiators and then a fast move. Where's this move going to go to, though?
I mean, Celery saw them take the rune bottom, so Thompson's just going to show. But the second half of this move might catch Dyrachyo off guard. I mean, these are juicy camps to leave.
Oh, he's so close. The courier is leading right to him, but he's going to get through the gate before the smoke can arrive.
That's a very clutch play from Dyrachyo. I mean, you would love to stay there for those mini golems and all the Greevil's Grief bonus.
Oh, yeah.
But just makes the read that that smoke was coming into him, and he is closing in on this Sacred Relic. If he doesn't die right now, he's going to have it in the next minute and a half here. Smoke continues on through the gate.
Love that play. Using the courier to see if there's anybody else coming through the gate after him. And he sees, okay, it's a Shadow Demon. He loses courier for it. Who cares? He got info out of it. Enough info that he feels comfortable staying in this lane. It's not just a Shadow Demon. That's not enough to threaten this Alchemist.
Will cost his courier, but can always head over to the shop himself to finish up that Radiance.
True.
Big decisions for Gaimin are when do you fight with this Alchemist, though? Are you confident for him to join fights with only the Radiance? Do you want to wait later on for a BKB timing, something of this nature? And where's your defense against the Sand going to come from? Ace is building a first item pipe. It's going to be a little slow here, though.
Mid tower is going to die here. Celery just trying to make sure that there's no chance of Zoxa getting a deny. Good use of the enchant to give him the extra damage. Quickly taking it. 30 seconds left till another round of Wisdom Runes. We've seen a lot of action around these. We'll see if Gaimin Gladiators or Tundra want to try and make a move.
There's a lot of Blink Daggers coming out on the map right now. Ramses also went for first item Blink on this Doombringer. So you have double Blink up for Tundra and a Blink coming out for Tofu on this Bat Rider. A lot of initiation power on the map right now. Both teams want to use it.
Every single time a smoke comes up from one team or the other, though, it seems like their opponent plays defensive enough that the smokes just don't give them any opportunity. Even with the Blink Daggers, you're looking especially on Tundra's side, this mid lane doesn't feel the best because that mid tower is still up.
And Celery's just defending the entire river. He is permanently scouting for smokes in this area.
Yeah, it looks like he's just patrolling back and forth up and down the river.
I mean, we saw the fight earlier. There's no way you can go on this Enchantress with a lineup that's predominantly magical nukes early.
Yeah.
So it's another smoke that doesn't yield too much for Tundra. Continue to farm up the map here. But I don't know if this Blink Dagger is feeling too good for Ramses right now. Like, you're probably going back for Midas on this Doom regardless. Could have had it running this whole time, right? These missed jumps for him. It's going to cost him some time. And the flip side, Gaimin, they're going to try and use this blink on the Bat Rider to find a big core target. Would love to find Pure straggling somewhere. But But again, they get scanned out. Another defensive play from Tundra will dodge this smoke.
Yeah, it was right as the Dagon was picked up, so they really did have a chance to be able to blow up the Slark.
And Nighttime also hits here.
Yeah, that makes things a lot harder.
Gets his vision advantage, will push into game inside of the map. Tundra swarming around this tier 1 top. They would love to find Alchemist. And in fact, Invis rune for Thompson. He's going to sneak his way in here. Scout Ace.
If you're going to go for this big boy, you're going to need more than just the Sand King. And he's going to try point-blank Epicenter Burrow Strike. Need more damage. Whitemon's here with a Demonic Purge and a jump forward from the Tusk. A Walrus Punch. All three of them combined can put enough damage to bring down the off-lane Underlord. And straight to it, so many heroes around. Let's try and chip away at some objectives as well. The off-lane tower is up next.
Delays that pipe buildup, which is really nice for Thompson here. Going to give him more windows in the fight to deal the early spell damage. Level 2 Epicenter going to work. Teams continuing to dodge each other on this map. We'll secure a power rune for Quinn. You'll at least get something out of this space, and it's a good one. Amp damage rune on this Queen.
Oh, they are so deadly right now. Blink, Lasso, Amp damage, Dagon, the Sonic Wave ready to go.
It's a lot of burst. Someone will get melted, but you have to be able to find them.
And he got Thompson. Whitebot trying to close the distance to get disruption. A Burrow Strike puts him in range. Now they hit, but it's not like Quinn used many spells. He saved the Sonic Wave for the second part of the fight. Hit Thompson, the amp damage. Getting a snowball, pulling him out. Oh no, did Thompson manage to get away? What a save from Soxa!
Every time these snowball saves have ruined Gaimin's team fight. Now it's ruining their Kangs. Another Sonic Wave down the drain. Sure, you picked up Whitemon, but that is not the target you were looking for. They brought everybody to that. Brought the Alk, used the gate. Sonic Wave back on cooldown. Thompson limps back to base. He survives to fight another day and push towards this Bloodstone.
As a result, Gaimin Gladiators, even on kills, they're up by 4K. Would you say that with an Alchemist, because he produces that extra amount of gold, it's a lineup that's supposed to be ahead? Do you think Gaimin Gladiators is actually in a good spot? Do you think it's an even game? Where are we at?
I mean, they're in a good spot just because their two supports have found a lot more in this game. And they can continue to scale, continue to farm up here. This Batrider and Enchantress can push the waves, cut waves, play deep on Tundra's side of the map. They're really hard to kill, and they're really annoying. So currently they're finding more net worth, and it's adding up. You did finish the pipe on Ace, which is your big aura this game. Combine that with the Manta on Dyrachyo, and suddenly you can just take 5-on-5s, translate them into objectives.
And that's going to be tough for this hero right here, this Slark, to be able to deal with that kind of team fight. Thompson, caught by the lasso as he tries to jump on a Quinn, pushed back by the flame break straight into the unstable concoction. No Burrow Strike save this time, no disruption either, as Whitemon's getting caught up in the push forward from Gaimin Gladiators.
Thompson just wanted to poke the Queen's resources, ends up paying a big price. And that is a very important spell for Gaimin as well as this game progresses. The flame break here, if Tofu can push the saves away from the target they go on like we saw there, that's a huge deal. Could stop a clutch disruption coming out, could stop the snowball from the Tusk. Depth Shroud later on a factor as well. This is kind of your one spell to break up that positioning, push the backline farther away.
You're getting the Ags on Pure. He is going to be so much harder to catch on the map.
And I think we're going to see him start to become more aggressive as well.
And they're going to start off using the nighttime mission to get the leap on to Tofu.
Ags delivered, instant kill, another permanent Agi. This Slark's going to have some buffs to play with, like the Drinking Buddies. And this is still a nighttime interval for a minute here. And you want to roam around the map, deward a lot of the obs, get extra kills. You're closing in on the Sand King Bloodstone as well, so some big items aligning here for Tundra. And that Roshan is still up, so they're going to smoke and try and get active. Again, they're going through the gate looking for the Alchemist. On the part of the map they feel Dyrachyo's farming.
They know he's there, but Dyrachyo has already cleaned up the camp with that Radiance. He's moving on to the safety of his own high ground, which Tundra will surely try to invade.
It's
going to be hard to kill. Chemical Rage, is he going to pop it? Will it even matter though because of the Doom that's coming in? Ramsey's popped the Sonic Wave. They did get immediately. Finally it goes up. He's trying to make his run away, but the Pounce is holding him in place now. The Shards keep him in spot, but who cares? He is anchored to a team fight that he's winning, and Tundra will be the ones to drop 3. Pure with a Pounce away. Desperate TP out. Unstable Concoction will not arrive in time.
It was a trap all along. Gaimin were more than ready to turn that play around. And that was your one last bit at nighttime to get the Slark active like that. Pure will feel the stun still land and the sting of a lost team fight off a botched gank.
And that is scary. 10,000 net worth lead for Gaimin Gladiators. Tundra, they've added 3 different times now.
Gaimin were more than ready to turn that play around. And that was your one last bit at nighttime to get the Slark active like that. Pure will feel the stun still land and the sting of a lost team fight off a botched gank.
And that is scary. 10,000 net worth lead for Gaimin Gladiators. Tundra, they've added 3 different times now. You know the big team fight push is going to be coming from Gaimin Gladiators soon. It's just when they feel like the Alchemist is strong enough to hit that high ground, and it really does seem like he's approaching that territory. Radiant, Manta, soon to be BKB. I have to imagine that and it ages. Gaimin Gladiators are going to threaten your high ground, and Tundra need to be ready for it. They start off once again trying to hit Taracho here. This time out off of a Bloodstone Sand King who's dropped hit his epicenter with the disruption. He's going to be healing up a lot off of this one. Maybe not enough though. Hold out, drinking save. They have the snowball, and it hits. Burrow strike on it too. Thompson goes in to try and win the team fight. But will that stun be enough? Tundra feel like it's not. On the retreat, making a run for it. Quinn chasing after him. Managed to hit the pit onto Soxa. Looking at a little bit more. It's going to be Whitemon, the support. Blasto immediately. No, he hit the Dark Pack. Pure is able to take that one off, but it's still loss after loss here. They got the Alchemist, losing 3 for it. Avery, how does that break down?
It's just not a worthy trade. You needed more in this fight, but it's a fight you're playing without Doom. It just takes so long to bring Dyrachyo down. You had the Bloodstone active on the Sand King when he's disrupted. He's not healing up. Just an awkward situation for Tundra. They don't have that big ult online. It's not nighttime for Pure. Doesn't get to play a super long fight that he wants to and build up the stacks. You end up losing your tier 2, losing 3 heroes. And the story of this game has just been the supports for Gaimin. They're continuing to find so much net worth here. Celery rolled the Grove Bow as well, so this Enchantress is a huge damage threat. Ooh. And he is absolutely massive, level 13, going straight into his own Dragonlance here.
Even scarier, Tundra ever get caught in a lasso, so much burst damage, whether it's the Queen of Pain or this Enchantress. They could do a lot, but Tundra, they still have some answers to the Alchemist, and I think that's the thing that really intrigues me the most. They've got Doom versus Alch. Like, surely that has to be one of the best answers you could ask for against this carry hero, right?
It is 100%. You go in, you Doom this Alch, the Slark starts hitting him, you throw down Depth Shroud, Disruption, Snowball. That's the type of fight you're looking for, and then all of a sudden you get a 5v4 where all your heroes are still full HP. That's why these supports for Gaimin are the real X factor in this game, because if you can make some more cores out of them, you end up in situations like that where even if you kill the Alchemist, Gaimin can still win the fight.
Yeah, too many threats, right?
Yep. And that's the type of lineup Doom does not enjoy playing against. So while his target's clear here, it's not a guaranteed teamfight win. And Quinn, he was able to find a lot during these last few skirmishes. 4-1 and 8 now on this Queen of Pain. Shiva's done. It's a big item here, a very obnoxious item for the Slark.
There's the BKB timing and straight to the Roche pit for Dyrachyo.
Lines up perfectly. Daytime Radiant Roche, hard for Pure to contest. Dyrachyo with a nice BKB timing here. He is very fat. Gaimin feel like there's no contest available for Tundra.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, it's doable. Like, you have your Blink Pipe on Ramses. He resold the Midas for it. You have your Blink on Sand King.
Oh, it's such a hard decision to make. They could have gone for the pit, but they're opting not to, playing defensively for now and maybe waiting for Gaimin Gladiators to push into them. And you can see, I mean, they're really well set up for it right now if the push does come. But as it stands, they're going to be playing a 6 versus 5. Do you try and stop this momentum of Gaimin Gladiators are building up now, or do you try and stall out the game like they did successfully in Game 1?
I don't think you fight them head on unless they go high ground. I think you try and rat the map, look for pickoffs, wait for this clock to roll over into another nighttime interval where Pure can give you more map control. I think Gaimin are just going to push the lane, though. This is what this team always does with this type of advantage. And they just picked up an Ags on Ace. This was one of the faster Ags I've seen on him. Kind of an unconventional item on Underlord before you have some of the other auras. But a second pit off this gate could really debilitate the backline for Tundra and just make Quinn's life easy. If everybody's rooted for the entire duration of the fight, this Queen's just going to do an insane amount of damage.
It also makes like these high ground engagements easier, right? If you're sitting in a fixed area and that fixed area has double hits around, maybe even a triple, depending on how close he is to the fight, could be really annoying for Tundra.
And for Pure, like jumping and fighting into these pits. Yeah, you can dispel some of it, but eventually they snag you.
Dark Pack's only going to do so much. You really need a BKB. Something he's not going to be rocking for quite some time. 18-11, a 16,000 net worth lead for Gaimin Gladiators. Can we hit the nighttime interval?
It's the big question in this game. Can Tundra hold on? Can they find a way to win a team fight? Get themselves back in this game. Blink daggers are online.
They spot Thompson thanks to a high ground ward and pull him back into his doom. It's a Leto chain stun combination. Thompson still managed to get off his bloodstone. Oh, a disruption dodges the sonic wave. He's going to come back out. Can he survive though? Not a chance. Duraccio just doing too much damage. Your saves are not enough. It's just a momentary respite until the sleep comes for you. The death. 4 down for Tundra, straight back to that tier 2. And you can feel the ball is rolling for Gaimin Gladiators. Tundra gotta feel the pit in their stomach. This overwhelming advantage that Gaimin Gladiators is building up may be too much for them to surmount.
Pure just can't find his point in these fights. Like, there's no stacks to build up. The fight's over too fast. Someone's getting jumped. You're expending all your saves. But it's just saving a Sand King who comes straight back into death. Not enough sustain, not enough firepower. This Alk BKB is king of the fight right now. Even with Doom online, like, there's just no Doom to get thrown out there. It was a nice jump for Tofu off that high ground ward. Tundra know it's there, but the damage has been done. He'll push out of the base. Nighttime hits. Pure can lead the charge. They're TPing bottom. They want Duraccio on bottom lane. He's isolated. Ramses knows it.
It also means that Duraccio doesn't have much help. Oh, we missed the stomp! He still managed to get the Doom off, but it's after the Manta. Thompson's coming in with some extra damage, though. The Doom just means all this regen is just not working for this Alchemist. Maybe, though, they can still get some exchanges. Maybe they can still keep him alive. Even the pipeline. No! He takes out of the last
what can
one.
Pure do?
Pure comes in. Can he do this? Because Thompson, he needs a little bit of heal. Fortunately, he got the shard from Pure, helping him out. Pure needs to use his own ultimate now, and he's going to stick around trying to still finish off this Bat Rider. They've got him. Soxa. He snowball saved. Yes, he gets him inside of it. But back inside of the pit, you're just stuck in the same old muck and mire that you were in prior to the disruption, prior to the snowball. Again, they kill the Alchemist, but the trade-off is just against Tundra.
Pure still alive down here, trying to get something else out of this exchange.
I mean, if he gets just one more kill out of this, it's worth it for Tundra.
Some decent stacks at the worst. He might be able to bring him down over the long run, though. He's going to bring reinforcements.
He's calling reinforcements. Somebody help! Somebody help! I need the reinforcements. Celery is the one to show up, and he actually gets him a push away with the extra help of the pit. Ace is making a run for it, but Pure hot on his tail, spots him. Body blocking, Celery, body blocking in front of him. Now Quinn's going to slow him down. Pure is being kited, and remember, he doesn't have his ultimate. He used it earlier. 1 pound, all he has. He slips past Quinn, but Quinn gets right back in front of him and pushed back into the team. And disruption buys him a little bit of time, but there's nothing left. He tries to go into the trees, but Celery will hit him down with the impetus.
The gate always signaling Tundra's doom as the reinforcements come. Shut down that Slark despite building up 40 Agi stacks. Pure cannot fight through everything. They do lose a Queen of Pain Ags on a courier. It's a big courier snipe. Removes a lot of the net worth from this push, but there's just so much in these pits. These pits are absolutely ruining the Tusk in the fight. Soxa cannot blink. He can't get in deep in the fight. Doesn't have the blink yet. Can't snowball save anybody.
That is a snowball save that just might work. But once again, the pit is going to catch him, but he got his target out of there. Ramses making a run for it. Meanwhile, Age is about to expire for Quinn, but he's going to dive into this tier 3 area, pick up that pesky support that has been such a nuisance in this series. Soxa's Tusk, still though, the buyback immediately uses. Looks like Ramses made the call. He wanted to jump in. He immediately got silenced though. Once again, his jump just does not grab Gaimin Gladiators fully. Still going to try for it though, off of the pounce. Whitemon gets grabbed, manages to force tap down to the low ground. Both a disruption and a save from Pure. Whitemon, he is backing away, so is Saksa. Tundra just on the edge of a knife. It feels like they lose one more fight, and that Gaimin Gladiators push is coming, but they don't die yet. And Pure looking to push his advantage, knowing the Gaimin Gladiators have run out of certain resources. Again, the silence comes in. Uh-oh. Anything here? No, they managed to stop him from getting through that bait with the Burrow Strike. Is it good, though? Dyrachyo with the Shivas out. They have an unstable concoction. Managed to hit him with the Doom, though. Ramsey's got the carry in the Doom. Where is the follow-up, though? Pure trying, but it's just hitting Ace's Underlord. He is a big, tanky man, but he will be whittled away by this Thork bit by bit. They managed to get him out. These constant retreats from Gaimin Gladiators not giving Tundra what they want out of it. They're just so close to winning a fight, but they can't have it.
Another 30 stacks built up on this Slark, but can't convert it into anything as Gaimin just walk it off. They walk off the Doom. This Ace Underlord, he's giving up a lot of stats, but ultimately he's too big to bring down, and these pits just keep slowing down everything. So difficult to push through here for this Tundra lineup. They need their next set of items, need more sustain in the fight. The Shiva's guards for the Doom and the Sand King, they're thinking about two of them here. And BKB for Pure, that would make a huge difference. That would allow him to commit in once he builds up the stacks to actually stick on a target and bring them down. Do you have time to get there? That's the biggest question against Gaimin. Do you have the time? This next Roshan's going to be coming up shortly. And of course, a lot of that was without a huge item on Quinn. He lost that Ags on the Courier. It's only respawning now. So he's effectively got, almost 5 or 6K net worth between that and the gold he has that was out of this game.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming back now, and that is a scary thing to think about.
That Orchid really paid off for Dyrachyo in multiple instances, and now it's even more dangerous. A Bloodthorn. That is something that Pure's going to have to keep his eye on always. Smoke up from Gaimin Gladiators.
It's a scary item for the Slark, and it's been obnoxious for Ramses, who he's been caught a couple times on the blink and just getting silenced before the Doom comes out. Yeah, Gaimin will smoke. Look for somebody farming the triangle here.
So close to evening out the Word advantage. The Shiva's on the Queen of Pain. Don't have it on the Sand King. They find a pick. This Shadow Demon is a great target, and even if it's a support, man, he is just these constant disruption saves. They have to be able to address the backline first in order to break Tundra, and they found one. But are they going to get anything off of it?
Currently a Mud Golem sitting in the Roche pit, so Gaimin are opting to stay on this side of the map, try and angle for that Radiant Roshan. See when it spawns and go straight for it. Amp Damage Rune for Quinn, hits level 20 as well. Huge power spikes for this Queen of Pain. And he's going to continue to scale into a beast here. Disperser finish for Pure, that's going to be the biggest damage upgrade for Tundra. And the Shivas is done for Thompson, so this next fight, I mean, that's as good as it gets for them for a while. They're going to have to make something happen with what they have.
How do you set up this team fight for Roshan?
I mean, you got to get a Doom on the Alk. Maybe the Queen of Pain is good enough, one of those two. And Thompson just needs to stay alive. Like, you have to commit saves either on the Slark or the Sand King to keep them going in the fight. And you have to build up the stacks. You have to get in a position where Pure can start hitting the Underlord or hitting the Alchemist for a good, 10, 15 seconds.
I'm beginning to wonder if the Queen of Pain is the better target, just because we've seen multiple Dooms on this Alchemist, and every single time, maybe he dies, but he's so tanky that his impact is still felt for a while.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you might want to Doom this Queen at this point. It takes a lot of the damage and network out of the fight if you can burst Quinn down. And you don't have the best control to lock him in an area unless the Slark's on top of him, which just hasn't been the case. AC finished for Ace here. That is a massive armor upgrade for the team. And the fact that Dyrachyo doesn't have to build it here means he can go into a butterfly. Roshan falling fast. Are you even going to contest this as Tundra?
It doesn't seem like it. I thought surely this was the Roshan they were going to play for, but they're coming out too late to be able to do so. The Bloodthorn makes Roshan so much quicker to take. The Roshan Roar goes out, and Tundra, they're like, okay, Can't do it, boys. We're gonna have to play back Dark Pact. It is going out in Pure. He's making a scramble for it, but a gate on the other side. Managed to get the grab. Ramses hits his Doom mark. They're trying to blow up this Alchemist, and they managed to get him. Quinn is also low HP. Managed to blink back though. Hits a good dagger with that Aghanim Scepter. This damage is gonna start building up. Tundra need to start backing away, but Gaimin Gladiators not gonna build a look at Quinn. A sliver of HP finally goes down. He loses his Aegis. Ramses and Thompson play to the trees, out of sight, out of mind. Gaimin Gladiators
Pure
without their Alchemists are going to try to be the ones to retreat now, but Pure full HP. He wants more off of this one. He knows this is an opportunity to get as much net worth out of Gaimin Gladiators. Just one more core kill would put so much into Tundra's pocket, but no, a Yule Scepter and a blink away gets Quinn out of there, and same goes to the Bat Rider. Pure does what he can, but it's not enough to get more.
What an insane fight from Tundra, though. They had so much go right for them. They got the Doom initially on the Alk. That's a beautiful find from Ramses. They got a two-man core burrow strike out from Thompson. Epicenter on everybody, and then they had like a three-man Death Shroud. Death Shroud in the middle of all that. Everyone's just healing through the damage. They're able to get everybody out alive.
And right as we say, maybe we consider the Doom on the Queen of Pain. The quad picking up the Aegis made the targeting perfect for Tundra. They say, okay, we have to go the Alk, and they got the burst on it this time around. There was no lingering Alchemist doing his Radiance and doing some right clicks, and this time around, they killed him fast.
This is a big turn in this game. Tundra, the breath of life breathed back in as it felt like this game was spiraling out of control. They find big targets here. Very clutch spell casting on these two cores. And then this Depth Shroud just going in. It does so much to sustain everybody here. This is the kind of fight you're looking for. At the same time, man, these pits, they have just absolutely debilitated Tundra in these fights. They don't have good answers for them yet. Still able to get everybody out of here, reset, and then you can think about going back in. If you weren't so low on a lot of these heroes, I think more would have committed with Pure, as he knows, you know, once that initial exchange happens, they are favored over the long haul. You just have to push through it.
Thompson, he was a nuisance this time around. Oh, another disruption. It stopped the lasso initiation. Now Ramses comes in with his BKB, still hit with a Sonic Wave onto two. The Death Shroud once again will help him out. They managed to get the Doom onto the Queen of Pain. A great target. There's a full HP Pure, and Thompson is going nowhere. Epicenter slamming the ground, slamming Gaimin Gladiators. Two cores down. One of them's going to buy back to Quinn. He's back into play thanks to the gate, and will swing this team fight back to the favor of Gaimin Gladiators. At least the end of it, but it is costly.
That is a very expensive buyback, not just economy-wise, but your idea in this game about how you're winning fights, it feels like it's shifting the other way right now. The Depth Shroud value in the middle of these team fights is absurd for these melee heroes that Tundra are just jamming into the center of that. And of course, all of that is an extremely fast disruption from Whitemon in exactly the right place at the right time with the perfect spell casting. Ruins all of that initiation for Gaimin. And at that point, you're just dragging Sand King into the middle of everybody. Free Blink Dagger trip for Thompson. Ramses jumps in to bail his buddy out. He now has BKB to make that jump. And that is a large shift in the win probability here. Gaimin were looking to close this game out with that last Roshan. They might be going to another one here. And that's going to be contestable on the side of Tundra. If you get to this Scotty on Pure, he's the strongest hero in the game. It's not a question anymore. He is. It's just a matter of what he can do in the fight.
Do you think Scotty was the right choice, though? Because we talked about the option of maybe BKB against a lot of this AoE magic damage that's thrown around from the Queen of Pain. Do you think this greedier, stat-focused build is better for the Slark?
I mean, it's going to pay off way more in a long fight. It's going to help him deal with the Alchemist and the Underlord a lot more. He can chase them down solo. He can reduce more of the healing. It's a very impactful item for this game, and I don't blame him for skipping the BKB here because they have a lot of saves. He has ult, he has Depth Shroud, he has Dark Hack. There's nothing that really threatens all-inning the Slark in this game, right? Unless you land some insane lasso on him that would just be ungodly. He's not worried about getting burst down. Maybe fighting through the pits is a bit annoying, but so far, Tundra have pushed through it. They've evened out a lot of this net worth deficit. Now all of a sudden they have two of the top three net worth cores and a BKB done for Thompson. This Sand King is starting to heat up. Ascetics cap on top of it for some extra HP regen. And the debuff that gives you the status resistance. If you lasso the Sand King, he might live with even without a disruption or something of that nature.
Yeah, if he lives, he's guaranteed to get off the Epicenter Sandstorm. That is just an entirely different story. The heal that he's going to be able to get off of. A lot of these fights, though, have been about the Doom, and Gaimin Gladiators are going to address that. They still have this giant net worth lead, thanks in part to having an Alchemist, but the Queen of Pain is also not too underfarmed either, not that far behind the Sand King, and is trying to get a Linken's.
I think Dyrachyo has switched up his idea as well. He was originally eyeing something with this Talisman of Evasion, but now he's just going to forsake it, go for his own Linken Sphere. Gaimin agree, they need to deal with the Doom in these fights on their cores. Still, the one upside for them as this game goes later is like the farm on these supports, man. I mean, Celery is above Ramses with an Enchantress versus a Doom. He's supposed to be a hero that can create extra gold, and he's falling behind this 5. Hurricane Pike, Mage Slayer, Quiver in the backpack. This Enchantress is level 20. He's massive. This could be the saving grace for Gaimin if the fight goes long. The amount of damage Celery can output with 2,000 mana. Or do you just run out of mana?
It's game 3. It is going some distance here as we cross over the 40-minute threshold, 31-16, and it feels dead even. It feels like Tundra were just one bad fight away from losing the game, but they have won multiple team fights in a row, or at least kept them close enough that Gaimin Gladiators haven't managed to continue the snowball that they're so infamous for. Now, managed to get a Burrow Strike onto 2. They bait out the Power Road to go for Quinn. Quinn's going to be able to get away before the pounce lands from Pure. Missing that one. The Epicenter finds purchase on nothing, and as a result, Tundra quick to retreat after using multiple spells and items. Cooldowns are paramount for them to be able to win these fights. They have to give way to Gaimin Gladiators now to make the move.
At least Tundra gets some information off that, which is these 2 Linken Spheres on the 2 cores.
True.
There's a chance Ramses would have doomed straight into it. Now he has more to play around with. Epicenter is on cooldown. Gaimin want to try and make something of this, but they are missing Chemical Rage for 25.
And it's a much easier target to be able to get. They got him away. Disruption is still there, but he has a Bloodstone, but he doesn't have the BKB. They're still going to try and burn him down. The Depth Shroud helps him out. He got a Burrow Strike out.
Thompson tanky enough to survive the Ascetics cap, coming in clutch.
Oh yeah, that Ascetics cap went a long ways to protecting him there. Just the extra bit of HP he needed. Gaimin Gladiators were really hoping a pickoff would finally let them take advantage of all this net worth they've heaped up.
I mean, Whitemon is just owning their initiations.
Yeah.
Like, he gets disruptions on the lassos, but then he throws out this Disseminate, and all of a sudden that Sand King, who has 3,000 HP, has almost 4,000 with the extra buff up. He's really been playing well defensively with his kit here, keeping these cores alive. And they're getting to the point where these heroes are starting to become really tanky for Gaimin's burst damage. I mean, once more Saksa, he went this triple bracer build on the Tusk. He got a Havoc Hammer. This is a 4,000 HP Tusk. You get hit by Sonic Wave, you walk it off.
Burst damage of the Queen of Pain just does not look nearly as effective.
No, you need to put this Axe to use. You need to get some of these dagger procs to go through the fight. Maybe take a hero down with this lasso and again go back to the impetus damage from Celery to pick up the slack, because these are the type of late games where Alk can start to suffer. This is the point of the Slark pick and all these saves Tundra have. Draw the fight out, make it as long as possible. Maybe that Chemical Rage goes down. Maybe you're doomed on one of these big cores.
I was going to say, you were talking about the Queen of Pain making use of this Axe, but you're proposing trying to draw a team fight out against a Slark. Is that even possible to win?
It's tough. I mean, what did it in that mid fight was the buyback on the Queen of Pain. You don't have that. You don't have it right now. You're missing a lot of them on the side of Gaimin. You can abuse this gate to bring people back in the fight, but you need the second life to do it. Right now, Ace is the only core with that buyback on the Gaimin side.
And for the first time this game, we're going to see a clash in the Roshan pit for contest of the Aegis, as Roshan is about to spawn. Tundra are the ones in position first, and Gaimin Gladiators will have to be the invaders here.
And Ags on Dyrachyo, he wants to pool it to somebody, but it's not gonna be here for this fight.
We're gonna need to wait a bit more. Celery showing himself, just having a poke at Thompson, showing off some of his damage.
Gives it to Quinn, and Quinn immediately buys BKB. So they want this Queen to be as strong as possible for this next engagement. They might have to wait for this Courier to bring the BKB now. It's a little awkward, but you're not losing any ground here, and Tundra aren't doing Roche. I think a lot of this fight, can you find the Shadow Demon? That's what feels like the piece of the puzzle here for Gaimin. Can you find Whitemon, take that save
Thompson,
out?
they still got him despite the Burrow Strike. What a lasso! Pulled him out of the save. Still though, Thompson? No! BKB Bloodstone is not going to be enough. Medium buyback though. Can he get to this fight in time? He has to go through the gate. They're going to hold this high ground around it to make sure that they will have all 5 members if Gaimin Gladiators push the issue, which they don't for now. But Celery, who is a big part of the damage component for Gaimin Gladiators, gets spotted, but he couldn't get grabbed. The pit came out. Brew a little bit of distance here. Tundra going to go for a different mark and to quit. As he uses BKB, throws out some daggers. Sonic Wave onto 2. Pure pops his ultimate early here. While Ramsey still needs to find a Doom mark. They still back away, smoke even, to try and get a better angle on the initiation. The first time didn't work for them. Maybe a second time will.
That's a win for Gaimin though. They took down the Sand King. Their cooldowns are resetting here. Lasso up at 9.
Gaimin Gladiators confident they'll be able to handle this one, but is it going to be too much? Ace, he's so tanky, but made so squishy by the damage. Still though, Thompson's in trouble. Depth shot disruption as well. Healings are coming in. Ace is taking his stats, taking his stats. Pure is going for him. Thompson not going to make it out just yet, but Whitemon's in trouble. Sox is in trouble as well. The supports are going down. Gaimin Gladiators are winning this fight. How far can they take it though? Do they dare to chase down Ramses and Pure as well, or would they back up for the Roshan? They want everything. They want as much as they can, but maybe that's a mistake. They're stumbling into buybacks now. Teeping onto tier 2's Quinn. He has no mana left, and Pure sees that opportunity. Some heals coming in. It's not enough. A bounce is enough. Pure trying to get out. Has his ultimate. It's up just in time. And a refresher. He managed to get himself a refresher. Another ultimate. Another swing. This Durantio Alchemist. Pure, the most dominant force in this team fight. Hungry, not quite enough. The shots with the impetus get him. He's dead. A death, 100 seconds on the clock. Gaimin Gladiators wounded, but not dead. Will take as much as they can from Tundra. They'll force another BKB out of Ramses. They'll go in deep. A lasso pulling him back. How many spells do they have?
Dieback.
Oh my god, a dieback for Ramses. How many heroes did they kill in that team fight? Gaimin Gladiators just kept it going.
So much damage done from Quinn here. The second light is what wins Gaimin that entire route. The refresher on the Slark was so timely from Pure, but he's just running out of resources. He runs out of mana himself, and the impetus shots are what bring him down. Celery dealt the most damage in that fight of anybody in the game. This Enchantress expends his entire mana pool to secure a teamfight victory right when Gaimin need it. And they will claim their teamfight victory in the form of Barracks this year, but despite all the diebacks for Tundra, they're not out of this game. And Whitemon, he's killing some waves on the map. They will still have a chance to turn this game around. A lot of buybacks on cooldown here as we go into this next team fight. And Roshan, he is still on the map. Switch to that dire side. Switch to the upper half.
Gaimin Gladiators may have used some big buybacks, but they are going to get so much for it. 2 lanes of Barracks, and they still have a chance to back up and take Roshan off. They won, or they could go for throw. Quinn has made the call. He wants Megas.
7 seconds.
5 more seconds. Can he get here in time? Durantio and Quinn have to wait out a glyph.
This is a risky push.
Seconds are crucial.
If you die
Can Thompson get his initiation? The Alchemist Illusion right now is stopping his blinking, so it's up to Pure to make the jump instead. He hits the Queen of Pain, but to look at Durantio, he's focused on the objectives. He realizes this isn't going to be good enough. Their damage isn't good enough. Now they have to try and get a retreat, but Alchemist is in trouble. Durantio has to pop his BKB. There goes the epicenter. Thompson slowing down these heroes, trying to stick on top of anybody he can. It's going to be the Celery Enchantress. No, he gets forced staff defensively. Gate comes out from this Underlord. That is not a force they want to contend with when they're not sure if they damage anymore.
That is such a risky push by Gaimin. If you get caught on the retreat there and lose heroes, that could just be the game. You have to remember this Queen of Pain has no buyback for 5 minutes. Ace has no buyback for 4. Durantio can farm his up right now, and I think that's what he's trying to do. But Tundra, they have one more shot. It'll be an Ags for the Sand King.
Oh man, that is a huge pickup.
You believe in the Stinger procs. The extra damage. He's not 25 yet, still missing that big talent. Trying to use the nighttime.
Gonna be able to find this opportunity to bring this game back into play for Tundra, or Gaimin Gladiators take them out in this 3rd place spot. a little bit of a poke there, but not enough to commit. Neither side feels good about the fight. They retreat to their own corners. Pure.
God, you want to fight while it's nighttime, and your other lanes are going to push in right now if you're Tundra. Like, you could end up in a situation where your tier 4s are being threatened. Dyrachyo can bots to your base as well. There's some strategic options at play for Gaimin. They are the ones who can wait this out.
Tofu's pulling in a smoke and wards for the next fight. They know that the initiation is so important here. The right jump wins them this game and gets them to the finals.
Look at this Centaur dragging a wave top right now from Celery. It's going to hit the racks. It's going to force a Slark TP back.
No way. A single Centaur has forced Pure to come back and deal with other lanes.
There's too many creeps in the base. Gaimin knew this, why they backed up. Gave up that high ground position and should claim Roshan off the racks pressure.
Yeah, that Tundra just gonna have to give up entirely. So what a win for Gaimin Gladiators. Unless Tundra can get back here in time, it is gonna be tough for them to move across the map this quickly. It's so much damage from Gaimin Gladiators.
Does Pure actually want to contest this? His supports are so far away on the map. They're ground boots.
He's playing entirely solo, trying to go for a seal, and an Aegis. He will find nothing. And now he's in the pit. Now he has to make a retreat. He has no more pounces left, and he wants to wait out this one and then pop a refresher. He's got 3. He waits for his team. Thompson fights them. He goes for the bat right. Orthotic wave puts them all away from the bat, and he ults. He might just be able to get off the lasso. Drink for the doom. Managed no. He got blocked by the link. It's Ramsey Sutherland fight. It's still though. The Sand King is in the midst. Dyrachyo with his BKB. Pure is going for it and hits the back line. Managed to finish off the Underlord. No comeback from him. 2 dead. They've got the numbers advantage. Do they have the damage? They've got him. Dyrachyo's dead. Celery's up next. No way.
They find a way with their base being sieged. The sustain, the save, the refresher on the Slark. Pure just pushes through it all. And these stacks are going to last a long time. He has the level 25 talent. These Essence shifts stay up forever now. Tundra found Tofu at the start of that fight, and it made a huge difference. None of them were getting lasso jumped. Their supports have a free-for-all. And even though the Queen is doing a huge amount of AoE damage, the sustain from the Slark is able to keep his other heroes alive. Thompson just running into everybody with this Bloodstone. And the impetus has come out, but they're just not enough here. There's too much HP to get through.
It seems like Tundra were the ones to be able to kite back and forth, making it so Gaimin Gladiators aren't able to focus one target down, and as a result, they cream Gaimin Gladiators in this fight. Despite the Aegis advantage, despite everything they got out of the Roshan pit, they cleanly won that one and pull back this game perhaps into their grasp.
They were down over 25k going into that. It looked like nothing as Pure slices them up. They will claim a tier 1 mid at 51 minutes in this game.
Goes to show how much Tundra has scrounged around the map, trying to find whatever they can, whatever gold they can, whatever experience they can, and just draw the game late and later and later. And now, 51 minutes in, the Gaimin Gladiators that we're looking at 20, 30-minute high ground pushes are getting stalled.
That time is long gone. You are now stuck in the late game. This is where Tundra thrived, the late game mechanical ability of their team fighters. Level 25 has now arrived for Thompson as well. He's rewarded for his presence in that team fight with a big talent for this hero. Huge damage upgrade. What can Gaimin do to find a way to start winning these fights again? They still have Aegis on Quinn.
Shiva's trying to find the hero that broke the smoke.
Ooh.
And a brief pause as some sort of issue will allow both of these teams to be able to discuss what is happening here. And Celery says, "We are coming."
He is not lying. So much of this fight rests on the Bat Rider initiation and what Quinn can do with 2 lives here for Gaimin. You have to find a good target in this lasso, and the Queen has to start getting these daggers up on everybody. The back line, that is the name of the game here for Tundra. Can you protect your supports? There's an Ags on this Shadow Demon. He has double purge, double cleanse, by the way. Something to think about. Another reason these long fights are just so favorable. Your cores start getting demonic purged in the middle of it. It's so much damage for Dyrachyo to deal with.
These teams are going to be frantically talking about what needs to happen in this next engagement. Gaimin Gladiators so confident, despite losing the fight around the Roshan pit. They say run it back, and they think they're going to be able to change what happened in that last engagement. somewhere between the Lincolns and the single target spells, there is going to be a difference in the last team fight, but will it be better for Tundra or better for Gaimin?
I feel like so much of their damage is coming out from this Enchantress. Full MKB done for Celery. He's almost level 25. Like, he has to be able to find his mark in this fight. Quinn has to be able to find his mark. This Alk is almost becoming a second thought.
Yeah, it almost feels like he's just a punching bag for Tundra to distract from the real damage dealers in Quinn and Celery.
And what did Pure just get delivered? He delivered a full BKB. 50 minutes this game. He finally opted to go for it. So he has 9 seconds of debuff immunity.
I mean, double ultimates and a BKB.
He's God in this game right now. Like, absolutely untouchable. It's not a question of can you bring this Slark down. It's how much is he going to do in the meantime while you're trying to kill anybody else.
Hopefully, Whitemon will be able to figure out his mouse problem soon and we can get this game 3 on the road. But in the meantime, Copenhagen, how are we feeling about this game 3 right now? I'm so glad that we finally got a series that is worth all of you guys here. I know all of you guys have spent your money and time to be able to be here, whether you bus or you flew or you drove or however you got here to the Royal Arena. Thank you. Thank you for coming out and supporting Dota. Thank you for watching the best esports in the world.
This is what everybody watches Dota to see. Find two teams in a game 3 with so much on the line, trying to push into this grand finals. I mean, think about what this would mean for both of these squads to get there. It's a redemption arc for Gaimin. They were so close, yes, last year, only to find themselves so far to fall just short again. Can you live with that?
And yet it feels like fate, right? The fact that they have so many times met Team Liquid in the finals, it felt like it was the fated path that they would do it again, and we'd either see Liquid be able to have their big moment, triumph over Gaimin Gladiators, or Gaimin Gladiators would be able to fix past mistakes. But Tundra are standing in the way of that fate.
Yeah. This team, I mean, this is just a team that will not go away.
No.
And you knew it coming into this series today. This is not a team that was going to go down easy, even if you pushed them, even if you tried to use your cheesy Aura, Death Ball, tempo lineups that Moonmander hates so much and has probably been shaking his head after the last 50 minutes. It did not end this game. It did not push them past the limit of what they were able to play through, and they have clawed their way back. They're still sitting down like 16K in this game. That is the ridiculous part. It feels like they have won 2 team fights down 20K that they had no business winning, and they are still trying to climb that hill to push themselves into that grand finals to face up against another behemoth later today. That is the terrifying part. If you win here, you still got another BO5 to play.
True.
To claim that Aegis, and that is why it is an Aegis of champions. Because you're going to have to prove yourself today in every aspect of this game right now.
Prove that you deserve that immortality, to have your name put on the Aegis.
For a first, second, or potentially third time.
Yep.
That is still alive, as ridiculous as that is.
Gaimin Gladiators, I mean, they've had so much success throughout year after year with this roster, but the one thing they have not laid claim to is this tournament. This is why this tournament is so special. The pressure is sky high, and teams will break and crumble, or they will either stand tall in spite of all that and persevere and come out champions, come out with immortality. Gaimin Gladiators, they gonna be able to do it? Will it be Tundra, or will it be a fight that just keeps on going? We begin. Quinn spotting Thompson, slows him down with the dagger and then backs away. He says, this is not the fight I want, not into their high ground position. Instead, I want an extra advantage. I want to cheat. I want Arcane Rune to be able to play with. I want to be able to throw as many spells as possible. Will that give them the edge they require to be able to hit this high ground? It feels like Quinn, maybe he's thinking about it. Still has 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and yeah, they are threatening the base once again. They got Pure to be able to come back. All of Tundra have to TP with him.
Pure left his courier behind. He's been using this thing to scout, kind of secure vision for the team fight. Will go down here for a bit, so that might go unavailable. This will be the level 25 for Celery. Normally, I don't know how impactful this talent is, but extra impetus damage in this type of game with how much they need him is a big deal. This is an 11-3 and 23 Enchantress right now, approaching 6-slot territory. Absolutely one of the biggest factors. And still, we have to go back to the fact that Quinn, he has an Aegis right now on this Queen of Pain for another minute. Level 25 for Ace, also a big talent with the extra root duration, especially with that Ags. Can you use this Aegis?
Yeah, are you okay with pushing high ground with that Aegis with only a minute left into one of the scariest unknowns of unknowns, right? We have this new Aghanim Scepter for Sand King. We talked about it, it's been theory crafted, it's been tested. This thing is insane. If you can get to level 25 with the extra epicenter pulses, if you get the RNG, Thompson believes. And he's got what it takes. These stingers are so much damage, and they're going to be popping up everywhere if he gets that epicenter off.
I mean, if you were cutting the Sand King spells without a BKB, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's that simple, I think. You're going to have to play for buybacks here, maybe 60-minute items. How much more scale does Gaimin have in the tank, though? That's the big question. This is a lineup from Tundra designed to win this point in the game. Designed to win the Ultra Late when the Slark is 6-slotted with a buyback. Refresher now online for the Doom. Ramsey still looking for his 25. Would be a big talent to get in this game as well. Probably the last of the big core talents.
Oh, yeah.
So Tundra still have a lot of room to grow here. You're still looking for like a blink on Soxa, who went for Vlad's and BKB just to play through the pits and buff up his Slark as much as possible.
I mean, Avery, you've been in these situations before on the main stage at TI. You're looking at this situation where you can't figure out how to end the game. What are you telling your team right now if you're Gaimin Gladiators? Because you know that they're still growing. You know that they're still getting more talents, more items. What are you saying to Gaimin Gladiators? What do we need to do to be able to finally break them?
I mean, that's where you say, hey guys, we have better late game, and you go back to that set quote. We have better late game because we're better, and you have to believe it. If you don't believe you're going to win at this point in the game with any lineup, you do not deserve to be in that grand final.
Taking it on faith, perhaps we're just going to wait all the way for another Roshan, all the way to tier 5 items.
And more importantly, 10 buybacks. We are currently at 8 out of the 10 right now.
Right.
Thompson dips a little bit below, but he will have his up in this game.
Yeah, Ace doesn't have his simply because he had so much gold. He actually bought himself a BKB and still almost has it. Just needs to farm a few camps to be able to pick it up. Sand King actually bought out an overwhelming Bleak. I thought he was looking at Refresher before that. Seems like he's going to deviate from that path a bit.
Still a very powerful item, but it will not give him the 2 of everything, which sometimes in these late games makes the difference, especially around that Roshan pit.
Yeah, especially the way the team fights have been started and then retreat and kite back and start again.
And especially when people have buybacks, right?
Yeah.
That second round of spells and items counts for a lot when you have to play 5 into 10 potentially to win the game and close it out here.
And that's a great point, because we are going to be talking about buybacks in any of these late game fights, but especially around a Roshan pit that is going to be on the dire side unless things stall considerably. It is a later Roshan. We still have a minute 20 to go, but it will be firmly on the nighttime side where the Dire have control of that outpost, something that they could play with their buybacks a lot easier.
We're also seeing more of these Ag Scepters start to get pulled. Duraccio, he's pulled 2 of them. Can start to add these up. Like Tofu, he got his own Ags now. This is a double lasso territory.
Yeah, what happens if Soxa or Whitemon are too close to the target they're trying to save and they get caught in that initiation?
Could be huge. These lassos have meant a lot in these team fights as we go down the stretch. We are approaching the 60-minute mark as well. You have to start thinking about these neutral items. Go back for the Midas once more on the Doom just to secure him instantly. Ramses, he's smoked. He's looking.
Yeah, they're baiting out Thompson right now.
And look, even the
Celery just won't stop, man.
He knows that every little bit of pressure could matter.
And he's also going to be breaking the smoke. He realizes, managed to get the 4th staff away. Tundra too scared to take that high ground fight. They don't know what lies above, and they will call it quits for now. But Celery just continues to remind you, hey, don't forget that we were leading control of this game. Don't forget your 2 lanes of barracks down and just win 1 building away from Megas.
I mean, that could be a route Gaimin consider. Like, if they don't feel like they can win the straight-up 5v5 anymore, you have an Underlord. You can gate to the enemy base in a clutch situation and try and just all in it. Biggest factor for Tundra is maintaining that glyph. But this game really could come down to some weird base situation like that. Especially if Tundra commit buybacks to a fight, they can't get back to defend the throne.
Look at Thompson.
Situation you have to think about.
He knows it's not going to just be a 5 versus 5. It's going to be a 10 versus 10 when this fight breaks out. So wherever the fight does happen, they need to be able to have boots of travels. They need to be able to have bots too, specifically to be able to get to the fight instantly.
It's the biggest factor here, and not a lot of heroes are going to have a bots 2 slot that they want to free up. Looking at Pure right here, I mean, he's approaching that true 7-slot territory if he eats an Ags and fills it in. He went for his own nullifier here. He is absolutely deadly. He's going to stick on a target. There's not much you can do to prevent that damage coming out other than your BKB durations on Gaimin. You have to pop them at the right time. Secure yourself that life.
I mean, eating an Ags, he could still eat a Moon Shard. There's still more room to grow. And also level 30. Talked about level 25 talent, what they picked up, but we may see the full talent tree being grabbed for some of these carries. And Slark is particularly scary when he is full up on that. Once again, they push out, trying to take control of the top left part of the map where Roshan is going to spawn, and it's going to come up in 5 seconds. There's only going to be a minute of nighttime here, where Tundra feel really good about the fight and really good about their position to take Roshan. If not, it will go to the other side of the map and will go under Gaimin Gladiators' control. And they are not immediately taking that Roshan.
So we should see how Tundra are playing this map right now. There's pushing in the waves. It's going to be Thompson on creep wave duty with that bots 2 Sand King. He has buyback available. In fact, all 10 buybacks are now available in this game.
At this point in time, it seems like the teams, I mean, we've seen Aegis fight that actually do not go the way of the Aegis holder. Maybe it's tier 5 items that are more important. 20 seconds till we get picked up. So in that discussion, what are the biggest items you could see on what heroes?
Start praying to Gabe, right? That you get the good drops that you want. I think in general in these late game scenarios, you want an Arcanist armor on somebody. But some of these big support items could make an impact. The cores, I mean, Giant's rings are always nice.
It's got to be mirror shields if you're Gaimin Gladiators, right?
Super value.
I mean, how do you play Doom against just mirror shield after mirror shield with Lincoln's on top?
Is this an unwavering condition game? Probably not. I think we'll rule that one out.
First mirror shield gets picked up. Celery takes his.
I could see Searstone for some of these backline supports like the Shadow Demon. Stygian Desolator could be a big one, but yeah, you're looking at mirror shields here.
There's an Arcanist armor for you on the Sand King.
I like seeing
cool choice for him. Duracio's trying to min-max his, he takes away his boot slot. He needs some extra movement speed. He takes force boots.
That's a big one for him. The slot's really valuable, the extra move speed in the fight.
Ace, is it going to be an Arcanist armor on his side? Will it be a Giant's ring? Another mirror shield, this time for the Queen of Pain. Oh man, how does Ramses do this? Force boots instead.
Ace also got his own force boot, though. You have 2 mirror shields to get through between the Queen and the Enchantress. Tofu still waiting for his. See what he opts for here on this Bat Rider. The flip side, mirror shield for Pure, you're going to have to cut through that. I don't know how he's dying anyway, but you have that plus the Arcanist armor Sand King to fight through. So much resistance.
Bat Rider's opting, I think, to hold on to his Timeless Relic because he feels like,
Searstone.
He takes Searstone. Is he actually swap it in? He does.
That's big. That is a lot of cast range on this hero.
God.
You're looking at this lasso now. This is an Ags lasso as well. Tofu's initiations just got way easier. And this Searstone active is no joke in the late game. You throw it down on a random spot after a scan or something, or the Roshan pit. You see a hero, you jump in, you get that lasso. That can decide everything right now as Gaimin smoke into the pit. They're missing Celery a little bit, but these waves are still going to go into Tundra, so Thompson always has to show in the base. Still Tundra. They're just going to man up for Roshan here.
Yeah, look at Quinn. He is getting close to the pit, and Shivas reveals them inside of the Roshan pit. Pure getting a couple of stacks here, throws out that nullifier, got a BKB out of him. They're in a deep corner here. Does Gaimin Gladiators like where this fight is being positioned at? They go for Celery. Mirror Shield blocks of it. Nice Sonic Wave. Hitting on a 3. Still, Celery's in trouble. He's broken and he's dead. Ramses refresh, looking for another Doom target here, but they're fighting into buyback with the outpost territory. There it is. Buyback on the Celery. He's going to be coming in soon. They got Quinn locked down. Another one dead. 1 into 2. Tundra. Can they get more? Duraccio sees his opportunity with the buyback coming in for Quinn. Can he push through? Ramses low. Disruption. Managed to buy him some time. Pure is getting a lot of stacks though. Pure is getting bigger and bigger. What a slam from Thompson. There goes out the lasso. Managed to get one. Thompson's still fine. Gaimin Gladiators are running out of damage, it seems. These buybacks are not doing enough. Wait, no! Another Sonic Wave. They got Thompson. A pull forward from Soxa. Couldn't actually do that much. Now he's in danger as Durachu looks to be able to run him down. Nah, you're not getting out of here. None of that. Tuts, he goes down. Gaimin Gladiators throw buyback after buyback, but they hold the Roshan pit.
So much damage from Quinn. 14,000 out of this Queen of Pain. He goes down once, but he gets the job done. Triple buyback from Gaimin. Does cost him a lot, but that Radiant Roshan advantage was huge. And you got to be looking at Tundra's base while all this is happening. They lost a tier 4. There was a decent amount of wave pressure. Can't afford to take too many of these fights outside your base when creeps are just hitting your throne. Double buyback expended from them on the Shadow Demon and the Doom. They're going to try and hold the other two here. Will Gaimin try and push the base to force Thompson's buyback on this Sand King? Do they feel confident enough to do it with the second life on Quinn, but no Queen of Pain buyback?
Yeah, one more buyback used, but one more life added to Gaimin Gladiators with the Aegis. Does that make us even? They get a buyback out of the Tusk now.
Might just want the Megas here. Look for another lasso. They got Refresher Shard on Ace, so double Hex and double hit potential is online. We also saw the target prioritization from Ramses. He tried to doom the Enchantress, hit a Mirror Shield. Very tough position for him into all this spell block.
The Roshan's banner will let them go for high ground here. With the creeps protected, they can take Megas unless Pure gets in front of this one.
So that's 40 stacks.
Yeah, he is stacking up big time. And that is a bit of a problem for Gaimin Gladiators to consider. Do you really want to push this right now while he has those stacks? Oh, he went fishing, doesn't find anything. Instead, he's going to be knocked out. The Sonic Wave trying to protect this Bat Rider, but no! He dies, and now the Burrow Strike trying to get through the Lincoln, trying to get through the Mirror Shield. Quinn committing, he gets the base. He gets the Megas. Ace is out of here through the portal. Duracio's on out of here too, but they are going to be able to catch Celery here. Quinn, he's back into play through that gate. Thompson, he retreats to the high ground with these Impetus landing onto him while the Tusk is left behind. That is a dive back. A Scythe onto Thompson. He won't die from this. He gets back, but look at the throne. It's totally exposed and Megas are coming.
You need to hold on to the glyph here if you are Tundra. That is the last thing you want to click in this game. It might be the last thing you click in this game. Gaimin, they get another buyback and a dieback onto Soxa here. 5v4 situation. You don't have an Aegis anymore. They're going to pass the Refresher Shard over to Quinn. Ramsey still struggling to find these Dooms. There's just so much spell black. He threw out one on Ace. I think it got blocked by a Lincoln's proc.
They can wait for time. Thompson, they have to get the Doom onto Ace. A big kill with the nullifier. They shred him, but so does Thompson. Almost dying. Disruption. Buys him time. A second Sonic Wave and miss. Thompson's okay. At least for now. Bloodstone pulled back in depth shard. Wait a minute. He still has a little bit more time as the disruption buys him life after life. So many second lives for Tundra. Whether it's buybacks, whether it's the snowballs or the disruptions. And Thompson strikes again, trying anyway. Stuck in this slow. Another disruption going out. Gaimin Gladiators not overcommitting. They know the Slark is coming back into play soon. Managed to get a Scythe onto him. Managed to get the Hex on him. Can they punch it down? They've got him. One more buyback. Tundra, they have a buyback left on Thompson, and that's all that's left. Do Gaimin Gladiators keep this going? They are just slowly smothering.
Trying to get out.
A reset through the gate was a bold move, and now, Ramses has to use his BKB, otherwise, the lasso! Tofu gets the lasso to pull him back into his death. That is a dieback. Thompson, he's gonna have to use his buyback. Perhaps he wants a kill out of it, though. First, he gets bit. Tofu, wait a minute, refresh BKB. No way, no fucking way. He pops his BKB, hits the epicenter, and he is living. He doesn't use his second life. Not quite yet, not quite now.
The sand got
He has to use it.
Look at the throne, it's just dying to catapult.
My god, the epicenter was still going on his life, and it helps clear out the creeps that almost took down the Ancient.
Illusion sent in catapult, set in Whitemon on throne duty, but Tundra, they hold, and you're now in a situation where all 10 buybacks are on cooldown. We went from having all of them to none of them. This game has evened back out somehow. Some way, Tundra hold on to this game. They did use their glyph, though. This throne is on 1,000 HP with no glyph. The all-in potential from Gaimin is there.
Divine Rapier picked up. Duraccio.
They're going to all in it, man.
At this point in time, it's not about whether or not they can beat Tundra in a fight. It's about whether or not you can kill the Ancient.
Tundra, you need to find heroes right now. You let Gaimin get into your base with BKBs up, they might just throw you through everything.
Tundra refusing to say die. They have to push outside of the pit in order to stop Gaimin Gladiators for going straight for the throne.
He's on the side. How bold are you right now? A man known for the risky plays. Pure continuing to scout outside the base, knows that if Gaimin commit to that throne, you need as much time as you can get to bring these heroes down before they get the win. Will you go for it here on the side of Gaimin? Will you wait for buyback cooldowns? Some of yours are coming up first. That Queen of Pain and Alchemist buybacks up again in 2 minutes here. And you know the longest one in the game right now is the Sand King at 6. I would not fault them trying to wait out this little condition and then go when they have the numbers advantage.
Oh yeah.
You'd feel a lot safer doing it at least.
Tundra, they are stuck between a rock and a hard place of you want to be able to hold your high ground, but you know that Gaimin Gladiators are looking at the win condition here. You have to keep them away from the throne. They're strategizing right now. They've decided to go for a smoke, and let's see where they let it lie. Are they going to go up to top lane? They're going to go for the game. They're going to go straight for the throne. All in on this one. They pop their BKB. They go straight for the throne, and it